Cancer, and welcome to Days of Our Lives Tarot Tales. Today, we're going to be looking at stories from your energy field. And before we get started, I want to take a look at the theme that was coming up in the pre shuffle. So, in my pre shuffle, the cards fell out and seemed to be speaking to a person who is experiencing a lot of judgment. And I feel like this judgment is about who they are and how they choose to show up in the world. And a lot of this, I feel, is stemming from this person maybe just being a very abundant, maybe very creative, very talented person who seems like they have a lot going for them. And there seems to be this air of jealousy surrounding this person in their significant relationships. And I'm not just speaking to people who are, you know, external, what we would call haters. I'm talking about like mother relationships, sibling relationships, I mean, maybe even marital relationships, close nuclear family relationships. And I see this kind of reverberating outwardly to the point that this person may have begun to judge themselves as not being worthy of having good things. Because anytime they try to express themselves creatively or try to get in the flow of manifesting the things that they really wanted for their lives, that they were judged harshly for it. And in order to stop the judgment, they would hold back and try to retreat into themselves to stop that because of the isolation I feel that accompanied that and not being socially accepted. However, I'm seeing that this person has taken a stand to stand up for themselves and has begun to see this dynamic for what it is and to not internalize it as being a problem with themselves, but more a reflection of the character and the mind frame and the vibration of the people around them who ideally would be their support, who would be the ones that are, lifting them up and allowing them to show up the way that they were meant to. But that's not happening here. Okay. So the two characters that are going to be in the main story today is we have a person who is, it seems like they have been able to successfully prevent, or they're in the process of preventing someone taking something from them. Based on the pre-theme that we were coming up with, I feel like this could be resources, it could be financial, actual material things, but I'm feeling like because of the swords on this card, that what's happening is this person's thoughts and beliefs about themselves, their beliefs that they deserve to have good things, their self-esteem, I feel like, has been severely like stolen or like just trodden upon by people around them. Most likely because of this light that they have, maybe this very real talent, maybe this abundance that they naturally draw in. Because of that, someone didn't want them to see themselves for who they were, and they have been stealing that reality of who they are from them in their thoughts, causing them to, have thoughts that are not in alignment with who they are about themselves, just having a low self-esteem, a low self-regard. And this person is taking a stand to love themselves enough to be themselves, regardless of who else is going to validate or try to invalidate that. Now, the second person here, I feel like this person does not have a lot. They seem like they're kind of left out in the cold. They might be experiencing some rejection. And so this might be the energy behind why this first character has been experiencing that type of treatment. Usually it's people that don't have a lot who are the ones that try to attack people who do. Sometimes there's a lot of dynamic. It could get, complicated. We're talking about, socioeconomic justice and so on. But this is different. This is a person who's sense of self has been severely impacted by their very close family relationships, I'm feeling, by people who are just jealous of them because they don't feel good about themselves, and they're in a very low vibrational place. And being around someone who is so high vibrational, who has such a zest for life, sometimes it makes people want to bring them down. Sometimes it can cause a person to just want to tear that person down for no other reason other than just that they perceive them as having something they don't, and they don't want them to have it. It's too painful for them to see someone else have joy and abundance and good things in their lives, or just to feel good about themselves. All right. So let's see. What is the dynamic of what's happening in our story with these two? Okay. So it seems like there is some justice that's taking place. The first character, like I said, is standing up for themselves. There's been an injustice in the sense that they've had a lot taken from them. They've been, it's almost, to me, I'm hearing like a Cinderella story. So this person was made to feel like they were less than what they were in an attempt to make them feel like they were beneath someone else, so that this other person could get some type of glory, some type of reward, some type of social status, maybe elevation in the family. I'm hearing it could be like a marital offer or something along those lines. Like maybe they would do better, marry better, um, things like that. But because this person has stood up for themselves, they've enacted a sense of justice for themselves. Okay. All right. The next cards that came out, it's making me believe that this close family member was actually probably a significant love interest. Um, it seems like this person was in a relationship, it could be any gender, with a person who was very cold and detached from them, did not offer them a lot of validation, romantic affirmation, probably did not compliment them, probably did not want them to feel good about themselves. And because of that, the person has just recognized that they are worth that. And I'm really seeing that this person is someone who deserves to feel romanced and to have love and all those things, but they've been seriously deprived of that based on what I'm seeing. They This first character has received clarity about it. I'm kidding, because when this person decided to stop looking around them for that validation and look up to their spirit guides, to the something that's higher than them, to God, goddess, whatever that is for them, that's when they got clarity and decided to move into the future away from this. And because of that, it's opened up these windows of heaven for them to receive the abundance that they've always been in. These things that wanted to come to them, but that were being blocked by individuals with this jealous energy that's caused such a harsh judgment, and this person have such a low self-esteem that they couldn't possibly manifest those good things for themselves because they believe that they deserve less than that. And so they made that happen in their lives, partly because of some external influence of people actively doing it, like this significant, I don't want to call it a love interest, because even though this was supposed to be a love relationship, most likely a marriage, this person was not offering any love to this person. And not only were they not offering them love, they were trying to tear them down systematically so that they didn't believe that they deserved to have that. So they didn't want to offer it to them, and they wanted to make sure that they got that nowhere. So that's kind of a different, that goes above and beyond just not showing someone love. This is trying to steal somebody's joy and their sense of deserving to have romantic love in the way in which this person was wanting, and that they really have all around them and that wants to come to them. Okay. So that's the justice in this, is to get rid of this imbalance that was causing an imbalance in this person's emotions and their sense of how they viewed themselves. And by doing that, it's allowed this person to go back into a Queen of Cups energy and to be able to receive from their environment and the universe these beautiful experiences that are affirming of this person's worth. We all have worth. It's not that this person is more worthy than others, but just that for some reason, unfortunately, this person has been unfairly mistreated and made to believe, very similar to, the Cinderella story, that they were less than. All right. So, in closing this story out, the guidance seems to be for this person to continue to move forward on blazing their own trail, because that's what, at the root of this, I feel what was going on is that sometimes people can see, our greatness, they can see our light, they can see what the good things we have coming to us. And rather than be supportive of that, they make efforts to try to systematically tear a person down enough to where they'll block it themselves. Because there's some things that no man can block. Nobody can block certain things from coming to you. And I feel like the blessings and the abundance and the joy that this person has coming to them, no one can block but themselves. And so the individuals that were closest to them really put a lot of effort into making them believe that they didn't deserve that, so that they would do that. But the justice is that that is no longer happening, because this person has decided to take a stand for themselves, to love themselves in spite of what people told them. And in taking that leap of faith to love themselves, no matter how people made them feel, they recognized and realized that they really were lovable and that they did deserve the good things and beautiful experiences that they've been wanting in life. So that's our story for the energy of Cancer. Thank you for joining me on this video, and I will see you next time on Days of Our Lives Tarot Tales.